So let's kick off with a basic definition first. And of course, probably not going to surprise you to learn that we want to talk about what is force. I would say that the simplest definition I've ever come across is by Roger Bartlett in one of his biomechanics textbooks. And essentially, he describes it as a force as a pushing or pulling action that one object exerts on another. So essentially, if you push or pull against something, whether that's the ground, yourself, an opponent, or a sporting implement, you're applying force. And obviously, you're achieving that by contracting your muscles in some sort of combination, typically based around some sort of sporting technique. The force plate is probably the simplest tool we have in the sports biomechanics arsenal, believe it or not. Now, biomechanics tends to get quite a bad rap, and I completely get it. It's a very technical sort of discipline, especially when you start drifting down the road of using 3D motion capture and surface EMG, for example. But force plates themselves, once they're actually set up, and if that's in a lab, they're typically bolted into the ground, or if it's in a portable system, there's normally a walkthrough guide to take you through how to set them up. All you really need to do is actually figure out the testing protocol and then press go. And then the data's collected. And what it will do then is essentially give you some really useful data potentially. And so,
those are your feet?
They are my feet, sorry, yeah. No, they're really not my feet. They're really not my feet. As soon as I clicked on it, I thought, oh, that's a bit grim, isn't it? Anyway.
That is brutal.
They are Pete Mundy's feet. His hobbit feet. He doesn't know I've used this photo, so please don't tell him. So basically, the force plate is essentially a really sensitive bathroom scale. And we know that if we stand on the bathroom scale, whether at home or in a lab or whatever, if we stand still, we'll get typically what we refer to as our body weight or body mass in either kilograms or pounds or whatever, okay? We know then that if we stand still, we're going to get that relatively static number. However, if we start to move, i.e. we jiggle about a little bit, the number will move with us. And this is essentially down to how we're interacting with the ground. So when we stand still, just by standing still, we're exerting force against the ground, and that ground is then pushing up against us. And that's essentially the basis on which force platforms work. Here, yeah, let's go back to the manky feet. Oof, that is grim, isn't it? So from this horrible example to the sort of product that Hawkin Dynamics sell, which is a really beautiful bit of kit, really streamlined.
It's a mildly distorted image, Jason.
It is, but deal with it.
They're not that tall.
No, exactly. Well, no. But it's a very cool bit of kit. More importantly, though, if I just take you to the underneath of the system, the force platform itself, like I say, is a really sort of basically a bathroom scale. What distinguishes it, however, is we have strain gauges in each of these four corners. And it's these strain gauges that enable us to, where are we? So these strain gauges in each corner that essentially deform as you apply load to it. So you stand on it, those strain gauges will deform, and that will give you a recording of your weight. And that's really cool. And of course, as you then try to move around, you'll then change the pattern of force that you're applying to the ground or applying to the force plates.